I just want to say first that this video should have been out months ago. But I got sick, I needed to recover, then my mother got sick, then I got sick again as a result, and even as I'm recording this, I'm still not 100% myself. So if I sound inconsistent, bear that in mind, okay? About 2, maybe 3 months ago, I got a curious video as an ad. It was from a channel called Mind of Steel, and it was criticizing an individual who is a J.K. Rowling simp. For those who don't know, J.K. Rowling is a talentless hack who sucks at writing and only got famous off of one major thing and hates trans people. The usual grifter NPC junk. Anyways, I have this knack of setting comments to newest to see what the dumbest takes are. Since Peanut doesn't know this trick, let me show you. If you go over here and set comments that say most popular, you click on it and it says there's an option to go from newest to oldest. If you click on that, you'll find that most shadow banned comments are uncovered. Emphasis on most. And I found you spamming at least 2 replies to everyone who was praising the video. This also happened to myself, but unfortunately I never had the foresight to retain any of those replies as screenshots. Mainly because I wasn't expecting things to escalate this way. So, I check out the guy's channel. He's got something like 30 subscribers at the time. Hey, that's fine. We all start small. That's fair. I'm not gonna have a go. So I'm just like, okay, this guy's just angry about stuff, so I'll just go and watch something else. And I do. I go watch SMG4, a couple of animation retrospective videos, I look at a history of Gynax, you know, the usual boring stuff. And then I go to bed. A couple of days later, however, someone else in a server I'm in knew about this guy. In a voice call in said server, we were talking about bot comments and how annoying they are. The conversation basically boiled down to this.
Oh, aye, that reminds me. I had to block a guy from my channel because he was spamming weird racist shit on there. Shit like, well, you know what blacks are like, don't you, lover? And that was aimed at me because, you know, I was raised by a black family.
My gut feeling made me ask if his name was KavaLogue. The friend of mine went,
Yes, that devil rings a bell. You saw those comments too?
Unfortunately, I had not seen these comments, and sadly cannot find them as the channel was also taken down. Though this was because of music copyright, this had nothing to do with Peanut. But there is only one salty Peanut who says this exact kind of stuff with that exact channel name and that exact profile picture. Both of us realized this is the same person. It's not rocket science to come to that conclusion. Though I guess for some grifters it must be brain surgery, right, lads? So I take a look at his channel once again. One new video, nothing different to be honest. But then I went to his posts. Good lord, this guy left several replies. We'll get to this in a minute. But for now, let this be the standard of terminally online energy we're dealing with in this video. So I respond to him making fun of him a few times for spamming comments. And, as usual, he lashes out at me. This isn't the first time that's happened where someone doesn't understand what a reflection is, or reflective glass, or whatever fancy phrase y'all want to use. But then he goes onto my channel. This is a first, but he has as much power to do that as I do to him. Yeah, I'm not cutting that out. Okay. This time, he goes back to posts nearly a whole year ago, trying to find dirt on me like some weird internet tough guy. He spams all over the shop across my videos, my live streams, my posts, etc. However, being pretty sharpened from years of myself doing that, I went through a edgy patch as a kid, I keep up with every single argument he's making on the channel. And he fucking hated every second of it. It's almost as if I'm holding you accountable for your actions. Funny how that works, isn't it, Peanut? After getting tired of like a whole week of this back and forth thing, I tell him to come to the server and talk to me. The first thing he did was spamming once again, but this time it was homophobic slurs and calling me a pedophile. This, in all of its context, is what transpired shortly after. Bear in mind, his copy of the call only contains his voice and is missing a great deal of context. In fact, wait, no it doesn't, he's just using my own audio. He's only got the first minute or so of the conversation as he joined before I started recording. We're gonna get to that in a minute, Peanut, just you wait. But the rest of the call, as presented, gives you more than enough context to get the point across. I should mention, by the way, there is a trigger warning. There will be lots of slurs, so do bear that in mind. You have been warned. 3, 2, 1.
Hello? Oh yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. You fucking squeaking little faggot. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you sound exactly as I expected. Oh man, did you know you're gay? Did you know you're literally just gay? You're gay, 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 you're gay. You sound gay, you look gay. No, that wouldn't piss me off. That just affirms what I'm saying. And you would do it just to piss me off because you are gay, because you're gay, because I'm right, because you're gay, because you're just a faggot. You're all faggots, man. I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of you. Like, you achieve nothing. There's nothing to debate here. There's nothing to debate here. There's nothing to debate here. Wait, no. I'm not even, I'm just beginning the insults. Go on. All right, okay. Hang on. For the sake of it, I'll stop. So you make your argument first. Let's play the game. You make your argument first. I won't interrupt. I'm sorry. Everything. You don't exist. You're a dude. You're dating a dude. It's not a girl. You're full of shit. It's just you're gay. You are gay. You are a completely raging faggot. Your version of something existing is if I dream it up and I think it and I say that's what it is, then it exists. And to you, you think that means that is the existence of something. Ignoring everything I'm saying and throwing gotchas at me. Now, I gave you the opportunity. I said, okay, do you know what? I can stop because I'm the heated one. I can slow down. I can retract a bit. And I can let you put your argument out. I can slow down. I can retract a bit. And I can let you put your argument out there. You can confiscate whatever idea you want. And you can build the however you want. And you can make your own little gotcha moment. And you can set it all up so that I have to reply to your logical opening argument, we'll say, and based on your logical opening argument, if it is a logical opening argument, which it won't be, I shouldn't be able to say anything back. It's the perfect opportunity for you to set me up for failure, but you're ignoring that opportunity.
No, because I'm actually wanting to, here's the difference with that, the difference with that is that I'm trying to play good faith here with you. I'm not coming in here to make fun of you and call you, oh, you're dumb or whatever. Like, I'm not doing the bit at that point.
There's no good faith. This isn't the...
Yeah, it is.
You think you're watching entertainment. This isn't entertainment. There's no good faith. This isn't politics. This isn't, oh, we're buddy at the end of this. This isn't, oh, we have a massive audience, so we must be nice, we must be cool, we must be commercial, professional. There's no good faith. There's absolutely no good faith. You're a fucking disgusting faggot retard. You're pretending you're not. Your self-projection is insane because everything you say to me, oh, you this, you, it's about you. It applies to you. Oh, why can't you keep all your replies to one comment? You said I'm about your 14th comment. Every single thing you've said to me has applied to you. So I've come into the den of fucking faggots here to confront you. I've given you an opportunity, right? And the opportunity was sit up for failure. Make your opening argument. Say everything you know is true because you're basing reality, correct? Set me up for failure. You can't. More self-projection.
That's not how self-projection works. That's not how self-projection works. Can you describe how self-projection works to me? Please do. That's not alright. No, I'm asking for the actual definition, the direct definition of self-projection, Peanut. Can you do that?
My videos and my pages and comments.
What? I found your video. I found your channel like 1 day ago. What are you talking about? I found you like.
Look at you. You left 20 replies.
You did, because it looks. Can you not? Do you not have any self-awareness?
Self-projection is telling the person, they're doing exactly what you're doing. But see, this is all disingenuous. You know what self-projection means. This is another half-assed gotcha. You kind of know what you have to do to get a gotcha, but you've no idea how to follow through. You know how to set up and say, oh, okay, go on, explain self-projection, and then when the
Right, okay, I've muted you for a minute here, so now, please do listen to me here. You can stop repeating yourself, alright? Because I get what you're saying. I'm not here to have a go at you. I'm here to try and understand what your actual stance is on this. That's genuinely all I'm wanting to know. I'm not here to insult you, like you came in here fucking, like, spamming random shit in here like a maniac. That's the thing I was explaining before, is that you have to admit, out of context, it looks pretty fucking goofy when you spam like 20 replies on one singular comment. And I went through that thing. I couldn't see all of them because, like, you probably said some edgy shit and ended up getting yourself shadow banned in the process there, which is kind of, like, fair enough, that happens to me. Can you understand where I'm coming from with that, specifically? How that looks really bad out of context. One comment to like 20 or so replies. Can you understand where I'm coming from with that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
The whole point is that it looks really bad out of context. The problem with that is, it doesn't matter.
It really does. If you want to make yourself look credible, it absolutely does. No, not just to me, like, there were other people, in other fucking videos, like Okay. Alright, Peanut, calm down, alright? Settle down. This is so goofy, man. Ugh. Right, okay. You're trying to say that doesn't matter. Right, context objectively does matter. That is fact. If you want to say that there's the reason behind it, that's completely fine. Everyone's got a reason for it. But if your reason is going to be that there is no need for the context, that's not a reason. You're giving me a literal nothing burger argument. Do you know what I mean when I say a nothing burger?
Yeah, buzzwords. Yeah, left-wing buzzwords. Yeah.
No. It's not. This isn't buzzwords. I actually got the term from a channel you might have heard of called Jack's Films. And the idea of a nothing burger is saying something that has, like, nothing in it. If that makes sense. If you'd need to watch, like, fucking Jack's Film stuff, because he explains the idea pretty well. In which you say something and there's nothing, no meaning or any thought behind any of the words presented. It is just gobbledygook. It's just gibberish.
You have to see this part too. You're so fucking retarded. You're retarded. You don't need to know something to understand context. You're misconceiving and misconstruing.
Dude, you're screaming so fucking loud, it's cutting your audio out. Cool down, man.
Crazy. Oh, you need to watch the show to get caught. No. Dude, you live outside of context. You live context. Context is a man, a woman is a woman. You live in a world where a man can be a woman and a woman can be a man, and they pretend to be what a...
Right, okay. Here's my question to you. I've muted you for a minute here, so just settle down for a minute here, okay? Just chill. How old do you think the term transgender is? I'm actually curious as to, like, how well you know this stuff. How old do you think that term is? Not the woke culture or whatever, no, I mean the actual, like, term itself. Not the surroundings of it, the actual origins of the term itself.
You know you're gay, you're just a raging...
Can you actually answer the question? Can you answer the question? Can you answer the question, Peanut? Can you answer the question, Peanut?
There's no answer for you. You don't deserve an answer. You don't deserve anything. You live outside context. You live in make-believe. You start insults, you start arguments, you demand this...
You're the one that... Hang on a minute. Hey. You talk about projection. You're the dipshit that came in here and started calling people faggots. I didn't go in there calling you a fucking faggot. I didn't call you telling you to kill yourself. I made fun of you with one fucking comment. Do not try and fucking gaslight me on that, mate.
That's a good point.
Don't gaslight me on this, man. Come on. You actually have brains. Use them.
You fucking dirty, rotten, no good for nothing, lefty fucking brainwashed pedophile family, pedophile defending family into it. That's insane, man. Insane.
Okay, I'm glad you know my family better than me. Do you know anything about my actual family outside of the fact that I have like a sibling and a mother and shit? No. Do you not listen? Do you know anything about my family? Because what you're saying is just insinuations and guesswork.
Only what you told me, that they defend people.
Yeah, and you're going off of an extremely fucking... You're clutching straws so fucking hard when my mother is perfectly fine with trans people. My sister literally doesn't give a shit. She's like, hey...
You defend pedophiles, you defend pedophiles.
I'm gonna stop until you... I'm gonna mute you until you stop repeating yourself. Alright. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to calm down and stop going on a loop like a broken record. 3, 2... You left! What a fucking baby. Wow, what a fucking loser.
And just to clear some confusion up, there's actually context as to why I was muting him, no matter what Peanut says. The first matter of fact is this: he was chasing his own tail and going round in circles upon circles. If I wanted to see a spin cycle, buddy, I'd go and watch the washing machine in action or watch a Beyblade battle. The second thing was, he was raising his voice so much that his mic started cutting out, meaning I couldn't understand what he was saying. That also made my head really sore because now I was trying to figure out what he was saying and hear this ugly distorted ass audio. And lastly, he was dodging all of my questions. I wanted him to answer those directly instead of pussyfooting out of it. Ultimately, one of our moderators ended up banning him for not only breaking what turned out to be 3 of the server's rules, but also for breaking Discord's terms of service regarding hate speech. Nice one, Peanut, you called yourself out. The aftermath was one that, admittedly, I wasn't actually expecting. I went back to trying to get stuff prepared for future events, live streams, and all of a sudden KavaLogue returned. He re-uploaded my recording of the call, something I made very clear he asked permission for first, as it is my recording. I said at least give credit. He ignored me, and I ended up striking the video down. However, I gave him a bit of legway. I gave him a 7 days strike notice, meaning that if he went and re-edited the video to give it credit, or simply said link to the original post, or link to the original uploader in the description, or something along those lines, then I would have retracted the strike happily and let him go about his business. Not only did he not understand that, he dodged the strike by removing the video and re-uploading it without the original visuals. Hey Peanut, the audio was the problem, not the video, you muppet. Then another friend of the channel, Amy Rose, not that Amy Rose, this one, jumped in and tried to explain why this is a bad move, trying to fight against what I'm doing. We'll get to her response in a minute, but his subscribers ended up doing something really goofy. They made really weird attempts to shame me by finding old tweets of mine, one of which was me celebrating National Biskinty Day, a running gag in the OnlyPlays community. If you were cultured, you'd understand the joke too. In fact, let's take a look at some of the other people who've done it. They really didn't make themselves look better at the end of the day because they started flooding myself and Amy's channels with threats saying, "We know who you are, we are watching." Mate, you're not fucking watchmen, just stop being cringe. As well as one of them entering my server, DMing me saying, "I'm going to rape your tranny boyfriend and cut his fake tits out." So, you're not okay with me making fun of you for being transphobic, yet you're okay with your fans actually deluded enough to send death threats? Are you really okay with that, Peanut? If you're watching this, and to anybody else watching this, I want you to do a test. Count how many times I call this guy a slur, or a derogatory term. Now count how many times he's done it up to this point. At no point in this entire debacle do you find me attacking him personally, insulting his family, making any attempt to dox him, or anything which he has done so far. He's also got a knack of taking screenshots of mine without giving the correct context, seemingly placing them at random in his re-upload of the debate. Hey Peanut, if you want to make yourself look credible, you have to be a reliable narrator. Fucking hell, dude, it's not rocket science. Hey BurnBot, I have all the content saved in this copyright strike. I intend on fighting this the whole way. What I did falls under fair use. As I am a member of the conversation at hand, I have equal right and ever permission to post my own content. And I fully intend on taking this all the way, and will go to court— I can't even do the Irish accent. And will go to court if needed. We now have 7 days to resolve this. I'll continue my ticket in the meantime regarding the dox threats, but this is something we need to fix. I wouldn't do this to you. And in all honesty, I'll just re-edit the video, or Reddit the video, and post again, and again, and again. And you'll have to keep striking me so we can build a case against frivolous copyright violation strikes. Hope to hear from you soon. Really didn't expect you to try this. This is just insane and makes things worse, man. This will all be included in my next video. Thanks. He later responded with, "Hi again. We require further clarification. You claimed between 1 to 10 seconds in the video is your copyright. All that's available to see in the timestamps given are our Discord names. Can you please explain how this is your copyright? Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks." Hello, Kava. First, I must apologize that I didn't see these messages until now. I have been, for the most part, taking a break from any online activity and spending a lot of time outdoors. So if you will allow me, I'm going to explain why I took this down. I intend on fighting this the whole way. I don't. I gather you re-uploaded the video. If you have, then have no fear. I'm not petty enough to try striking you twice. And as I said before, to yourself and your friends, I'm a man of my word. Ask anyone who knows me, and that's a fact. So let me put it this way. What you got would be considered a pot shot in the grand scheme of things. I'll get to this in a moment, but rest assured I do not intend upon pursuing this any further. And I fully intend on taking this all the way, and will go to court if needed. Not quite. Granted, the first 10 seconds or so were from your own source. That's completely fair. However, it did not add much to the conversation. All I ask is that I got my source video linked or have credit given. Neither of which were done on your end. Also, the majority of your video was just my own video, with the only change being replies from myself being put all over the screen. I forgot to add that part in the email. And ultimately nothing overtly transformative. Had you actually came in to have a good discussion rather than spamming insults, which goes against 2 of the server rules, I later found out there was more than 2 and actually broke one of Discord's terms of service, and had enough to edit down, this could have been avoided. You did not. And at no point did I give you permission to do so. It didn't help that you got angry whenever I muted you whenever you talked over me. Or were shouting to the point where your audio was cutting out, or repeating yourself and wasting time and both our levels of patience. I'd like to see the court case where a very angry person is upset because his video was rightfully taken down by someone who simply wanted to avoid that with a simple credit to or link to the OP. I highly doubt you have the skills, funds, or know-how to make this a genuine court case. And that's not an insult, that's just from my own experience and is my own personal stance. In any case, tell Saul Goodman I said hi. I'll continue my ticket in the meantime regarding the dox threats, but this is something we need to fix. At no point did myself, Amy, or any other parties regarding your spamming hateful comments threaten to dox you. You will not be able to provide evidence for this because you have none. Now here's the bigger picture. People who have done so much as disagree on something have been sent death threats, their home address, etc. What you got from me is, if this was someone from a larger sub count, a warning shot. This is fact when I say others have had far worse happen to them. You're one of the lucky ones. And regarding this, technically you would find yourself in more trouble than me. Sorry. Regarding this, technically you would find yourself in more trouble than I, as you sent your friends over to harass myself and others who didn't even watch my channel, let alone edit for it, with one of your friends wanting to rape and kill your ugly boyfriend, dismissing the fact that she hasn't even that she hasn't had a face reveal and has no intention of doing so. This is an actual death threat, and that would get police involved, way beyond whatever you're trying to pull my server with spamming hate speech. You'll have to keep striking me so we can build a case against frivolous copyright violation strikes. Here's the definition of paranoia. What you're seeing here is paranoid talk. Like I said earlier in this response, you will not be hearing from me ever again. I have better things to do than deal with people spamming hateful stuff in my channel, and I didn't think you would stoop to such a level. And I guarantee that I would not ever send anyone to harass you. You have made this worse for yourself in terms of public image. Had you not taken things out of context, we'd all be getting on with our lives a lot sooner. But alas, here we are. Also, that part about the 10 seconds, yeah, you didn't even get that correct. Take a look at this. Yeah, no, that's the target content. Almost the first 2 minutes for your own source. That's the part I ignored. The content that is targeted is from 1 minute 53 seconds to 10 minutes and 40 seconds. That was the specific section I selected to have the strike. Don't lie. And here's what Amy had to say regarding this whole thing. These are her words, and she refuses to do a clip here, so that's fair. Dude, I never wanted that to happen. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. But it's clear you don't want to be helped, and when I simply told you what would happen as a result of you continuing your behavior, you twisted it into me wishing that happened to you. I was trying to help you and warn you about dangerous people out there, and you threw it back in my face. Oh, also, you're dorks spamming "we're watching." Motherfucker, you're not watchmen. Okay? I do, however, wish for you to work on your anger management levels and learn about the concept of critical thinking. I wish you a good day, or night, wherever you are, and stay safe out there. Hey man, vid's reposted. We now have it on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, and I've a link for people to download and run it themselves. Your mental gymnastics don't work. Also, not the only thing your strike went through was for your Discord name. Everything else was covered by fair use. Turns out Discord names can be considered private IP. The only mistake I made was showing your Discord name, which of course is something you didn't know about as I avoid Discord. Well, that's a skill issue on your part. I'm legally covered on all aspects. I will not be taking the original video down. I'll take my strike and celebrate knowing it specifically for your Discord name and nothing else. I see you truly didn't read my message. Glad to hear you've preserved the video, and again, I have no intention of following on from that. Why are you so focused on this aspect instead of the rest of the issues at hand? The mistake you made was not giving credit to the original uploader of the main recording, myself. I asked for credit, you didn't give credit, I had the right. Again, you fundamentally failed to understand anything that I have actually said here. Go and read the rest of my first reply, then come back to me when you're ready to talk. Hey man, it's just you taking everything way too serious from the... You misspelled too, dude, what the fuck? Way too serious from the very beginning. Imagine if you didn't go out of your way to spam my channel and start all this. I don't understand what you want to continue this. Still haven't read your emails. Then do some reading and actually look at the first response. I broke down how you're objectively in the wrong here. Once you can do that, then we can talk. Also, again, you fail to understand the basic concept of context. Yes, murder is wrong. Obviously. Both sides should be held accountable for the same reasons if that happened. However, the issue is that you spammed one single comment with multiple replies. That's how this whole thing started. The difference is simple. I was responding to your individual comments. If you can't understand that, then please let me know. In the midst of the 2-month silence, a handful more people tried to attack me and others in the server, to mostly useless results. My efforts to power on were initially hindered when we lost one of our dogs, Luna. I announced in the server that I would take a break that would go on for at least 3 weeks. However, in that time, I finally sat down with the man who got 404 TV shut down. His name was JJ Plagiarisms. We had a long back and forth, but we eventually came to a conclusion. He would retract the strike and my channel would be fully restored so long as I agreed to delete the video. Of course I agreed to this, and he did so. 2,000 plus subscribers, hundreds of hours of effort in past videos, the original video game championships, all fully restored. However, it's hard to explain why this hurts for me to look back on this channel. I'd argue the peak of this channel was 2022 to 2023. However, as it was gaining traction, I was going through several downward spirals. Leading up to that point, everything was knocking me down and kicking me while I was down. Getting real for a minute here, I contemplated suicide towards the end of 2021 because I genuinely felt like I was at the end of my rope. I had a massive falling out with my mother, which, by the way, Peanut, has been fully resolved, but I digress. Even after that bout of suicidal tendencies, it wasn't much easier. I was so stressed out that during the VGC livestream from 2023 at Zandvoort, I actually ended up collapsing, and my mother forced me to take an extended break to recover. I kinda needed respite. But by 2024, once I announced I was no longer planning on doing constant restorations, which was the main cause of stress thanks to the copyright nonsense, things started actually getting somewhere. I was becoming satisfied with the format of the VGCs at this time, but even then, those origins were largely done out of spite for gatekeeper trash and copyright issues once again, rather than a recreation of what a raw TV broadcast of a race feed would be like. Peanut doesn't know this, but I wasn't afraid to pull people up back in the day either. I had at least 3 different kinds of heated debates with friends and foes at the time. It's not fun, but it has to be done eventually. The funny thing is, all 3 of those debates had good outcomes. Peanut, you have the Raspberry Award of being the first guy to go in the wrong direction with this stuff. Anyways, after all this junk, I largely forgot who this guy was. The semi-rebooted video game championships of 2025 were heating up, I was finding people with a shared interest in more sports, I was recording more demos for my XG music project, and me and my girlfriend opened up more than ever. Yes, girlfriend. Try and keep up, Peanut. Or are you scared that her gawk is bigger than yours? Anyway, in the section of our server called Mo's Tavern, people can vent about stuff that bothered them on the day, or talk about heavy shit with mental health, or dealing with general family nonsense. While politics isn't really allowed in my server, under the correct context, I can allow it being mentioned. For example, we have a couple of trans people in that server, some I'm good friends with, some I just simply talk to every once in a while. I'm like, hey, how's you? And they're like, yeah, I'm good. Well anyways, Trump being very anti-trans and wanting to take away basic human rights from said folks because he doesn't like them. That's a valid reason to bring up Trump or politics, because it is a very extremist mentality that a lot of people are upset by. But if you're just going, fuck Trump, am I right? You're just baiting people you're just baiting people at that point and it doesn't get anyone anywhere. I'm looking at you, Darian. Yeah, I remember that. But I'll let it slip. This time. But yeah, so someone in the server eventually mentions that old debate video, and I'm like, oh fuck, the Peanut KavaLogue? Fucking hell, I haven't seen anything from him in ages. Wonder what he's been up to. And the live stream happened. Not long after this, Peanut made a video exposing me and others, specifically Amy. Except it's not a video, it's just a really shitty slideshow. Alright, let's take a look at the description, shall we?
Something a little different here.
I mean, given how you have a knack of taking things out of context on a far bigger scale than myself, this just seems like your type of average Tuesday.
This person simply won't leave me alone.
This is only half true. Yes, we stopped talking publicly, or pubically if you're gonna be that sort of guy, for around 2 months. However, we were back and forthing on Gmail. Oh yeah, in the stream chat, you got salty because I showed the Gmail messages, despite the fact you've posted my face and hinted at doxing me multiple times. But I'll get to that later. Point is, you might have gone stag publicly, but you were talking to me privately, and your fans were threatening to come to my house and rape my mother along with my girlfriend, which is something that you just can't ignore, Peanut.
Well, not a cry victim, because I'm not one.
This is an outright fib. Fib is a funny word, isn't it? If you weren't crying...
fibbing they shit.
If you're... Okay. I'm gonna keep some of these outtakes for fucking credits or something, I don't know. This is an outright fib. If you weren't crying victim, you would have never made this video at all, never mind outright lying and admitted you assumed stuff.
But in terms of persistence and ongoing contact with multiple people, I said contact, what the fuck? That's not how you would say it, fuck. Right, back to the start. But in terms of persistence and ongoing contact with multiple people,
Like one friend and person I speak to, or a couple people I speak to maybe once a week on Discord who happen to know what accountability is. Yeah, that's right, Peanut. I like to talk to people who know the difference between right and wrong.
wow, I can't tell the difference between right and left. I don't know about right and wrong, but like, you know.
The left is right and the right is wrong.
Listen, listen. I've been stuck in the basement for 3 years, and I can't get out. He runs a trans furry Discord server.
BurnBotTV nor this channel 404 TV are furry-centric servers. Name more than 3 people on my server who are considered furries. And besides, what level of fur are we talking about here? Wearing fursuits, simping for Luna, or Maid Marian from the 1973 version of Robin Hood? Be specific, cause both of these don't exactly go hand in hand. Back your information up, Peanut.
Don't mention me this time, but I personally like sitting up here in the attic. See, I got upgraded from the basement to the attic, and I like watching Maid Marian and going, "Oh shit, this is the worst thing I've ever recorded."
I'm sorry.
It's fine. That see themselves as an online police force for trans rights.
Yeah, I never understood, by the way, real quick, I never understood what the fuck he meant by this. Like, what word salad are you on, my friend? This is also half a lie. We simply welcome trans people and ask that people who come in respect pronouns. I have made it very clear several times, all of which they seem to happen to miss, that I do not support extremists on either side. I don't care for killing trans people because one of them's a scumbag. I also don't want to punch a Nazi in the face. Even back when I agreed with transphobes on political stances, I wasn't that extreme.
They have dozens of what they'd consider YouTube enemies.
Such as? Because for me, it's like 2 direct people I have beef with. Yourself and some bozo called Brandon the Awesome.
That they pour their every waking moment into coordinating via Discord who to comment on and what to say that day.
We talk about drama in a very specific section of the server, for the record. And what some of us do is this thing called research. Not just taking cropped screenshots with no context.
They egregiously spam everything with complete and utter hate.
Such as?
They dehumanize and devalue anyone they dislike.
Such as?
These people are dangerous.
Oh fuck, man, I didn't know you could put someone in hospital with a verb.
Listen, my friend ended up in a hospital with an adjective. It was horrible.
You know, I
him.
remember someone
He
had to
was-
get the
he had
consonant
the
removed
word.
one time.
He had the word. He had the word coward written on him, and he was like, "Holy shit! The adjective has left, and he's now been replaced with a noun. Holy fuck!" Anyway,
Fucking nouns! Anyway.
fucking nouns. I've been talking a bit about such kinds of people in my community posts recently.
Yeah, starting witch hunts over people who criticize you. GG, Peanut.
Ultimately, this new attack comes at no better time than now, allowing me to showcase what you see here.
And yet you're still too chicken shit to make a proper video on this instead of a fucking slideshow.
My question to you is, can a group of tyrannical trans furries logically have any read that again, sorry.
Take 2.
My question to you is, can a group of tyrannical trans furries... No, take 3. My question to you is, can a group of tyrannical trans furries logically have any grandstanding in arguments ever?
Yes. It's called morality and accountability. Something I'm willing to bet your failures that I'm forced to call your parents never taught you. Now that we have completely disassembled the description and how fucking one-sided it is, it's time to get into the thick of it. Right, let's get into it. Copyrighted music. I like that he tries to use my whole name. Also, what the fuck is this ugly... What the hell is this font? No, can we talk about this for a minute? What is this font? It looks fucking disgusting. Also, why is the start of this in 4x3? About 2-3 weeks ago, yeah. Okay, pause for a second. So, as stated earlier in this response video, this was from a channel the video in question was from a channel called Mind of Steel. We've pretty much gone over the start of that whole kerfuffle at the beginning of this response, so let's just keep pushing on. 10 out of 10 editing right there. I saw the 2 blocks of text go like that. So, good fucking job, Peanut. Now, I should mention, these photos were taken from Acme Comic Con 2024, where I got to meet my childhood hero, Sylvester McCoy. In fact, here's the full set photos. Here, here, and here. So, yeah, nice fucking going, idiot. This statement is partly true. Yes, I disagreed, because your citation was baseless in those comments. You failed to understand that misgendering and dead-naming trans people is going to push them closer to the edge. The part that is false, however, is that I went onto your channel. The part that is false, however, is that I went onto your channel and spammed multiple times. I commented on maybe 3 posts and responded to different comments. That's not how spamming works, Peanut. This is also untrue. Yes, this is also untrue. If you had any semblance of evidence here, you would cite it here. You would have evidence, but you don't. And if there are people who really did do this, who started spamming you and harassing you, I disavow it. And I've known that one guy, I'm not going to name names because, you know, reasons. I found out the guy actually has a disability, and he took it upon himself to try and champion for me. I said, knock it the hell off, let me deal with it. If you want to go make fun of him, don't do it on my behalf, do it on your behalf. And he apologized and said, you know what, that's fair, I won't rope you into that again. And we talked it out. Guess what? It's sorted. We're good pals now. It's sorted now. We're good friends. So anyways, if you had evidence to prove this, then I'd like to see it. But in this quote-unquote hit piece, I don't see any of that. Let's continue. This is also a fucking lie. I asked specifically that he came into the server so we could sit down like men and talk this out. No insults, no buzzwords, just questions and answers.
Try test that, you're about to get served. That's what I got, bust out of my head.
I specifically asked that he come into the server so we can sit down, talk like men, hash this whole thing out. No insults, no buzzwords, just questions and answers. Plus, on a personal note, I always wanted to speak to someone who was very overtly transphobic purely so I could just try and better understand the logic of their conclusion. Also, citation needed for these other people spamming you. Being a public figure myself, you tend to get scrutinized more heavily for this sort of stuff. So, I guess, really, this sort of prying into what's going on is just par for the course, buddy.
Play good faith here with you.
Why is bro scared of, like, my audio recording? Like, he speeds it up, and it's actually unlistenable. At no point did I ever try to attack you or your life on a personal level. At no point did I call you any offensive slurs, such as faggot, retard, etc., which is something you yourself did multiple times in the call. And as it turns out, 1 or 2 people actually called you out for that. So, yeah, and even your own friends were going, yeah, that was a bit of a low blow, mate. The reason I called you Peanut, by the way, is because you gave me the impression that you have the IQ of assaulted Peanut, and clearly it's not even an impression. You can't even back your own arguments up. But I digress. At no point... also, while I'm remembering to say this, you were the one who took my recording of the call and essentially added nothing to it. In fact, if you look here, the copyright claimed section specifically targets my source of the recording. The first 2 minutes, for the most part, were your recording. That was left out. But it seems you can't help but hide that fact with these goofy little screenshot edits of yours.
to make fun of and call you, oh, you're dumb, whatever. Like, I'm not doing the bit at that point.
There's no good faith. There's no good faith. This isn't.
Yeah, it is.
You think you're watching entertainment. This isn't entertainment. There's no good faith. This isn't politics. This isn't. Oh, we're buddy at the end of this. This isn't.
Well, you got butthurt because you made fun of trans people. Oh, by the way, is this the part where you did this? And as I said in the stream, I'll say it here. Look, I get it. Murder wrong. How much more simplistic can I make it for you, Peanut? However, as I said in that stream, the problem is that most people are going to see that with zero context, myself included. And it looks as though you've been spamming replies to one comment and made a wall of replies when someone else came in. This further corroborates with what I was saying way back at the beginning of this whole kerfuffle. You were the one that started spamming. You were the one who started this shit way before we ever spoke directly. I guess the view from that glass house of yours must be lovely.
Oh, we have a massive audience, so we must be nice and we must be cool and we must be commercial and professional. There's no good faith. There's absolutely no good faith. You're a fucking disgusting faggot retard.
Well, bro's upset because I called him out for what it is. I pinned you because you were a real funny dumbass who needed to be taught, hey, being a dumb fuck on the internet gets you nowhere. I should know because I was doing that shit back in the early 2010s when I was a teenager. The difference is, unlike you, I knew where the fuck to stop and when the fuck to grow up. Oh, nice. 10 out of 10 editing. That's actually, I'm gonna give that an action replay as I'm talking. So, once again, this part is a lie. I said this earlier as well. In the re-upload, only the first portion of it was claimed and only the first portion of it was recorded on his end. I'm willing to believe that he taped the entire thing on his side from start to end. I'm not going to deny him that possibility, because that seems actually kind of valid. However, this is contradicted when, if I take a look at the audio tracks here, they are literally one-to-one the same as mine. And to show evidence again, here's the cited section. What you did, Peanut, was go against my wishes regarding the re-upload of the call, which I had a legal right in taking down. Okay, this is the part where your quote-unquote sleuthing falls apart, mate. Firstly, Amy is a cis woman. She was born as a woman and identifies as a woman. She is not trans in any way, but she, like myself, is very much a trans advocate and has friends of ours, and we both have mutuals and friends, separately or otherwise, who are members of the LGBT community. I've asked her before if she's a furry. Her answer was, lol, no. Also, hey, that's quite interesting. That's an interesting cropped screenshot you have there. Let's take a look at the full version, shall we? Busted. Why did you leave out the context, Peanut? And don't say context doesn't matter, because clearly it does when it's about you and your sorry ass. Lest we forget, you posted my full name out there in public with ill intent. You could have easily avoided that, but no, you had to be a lolcow, you had to be butthurt. Now here we are. The last thing I'm gonna say here, as far as I'm aware, this is literally the only other person who's directly said stuff to you. And it isn't even a negative sense, it's telling you, dude, seriously, people get doxxed over shit like this. You have to turn and walk away from this. But no, you ended up doxing me instead. What a fucking bastard you are, huh? If you really were being harassed as much as you say you were, then surely you would actually cite it. But you can't, because you can't help but lie. Wow, Peanut, you're really bad at this. Okay. This part is also untrue. In fact, we've gone over the full transcript already, so I'll timestamp it here. That's the part where we start talking about the emails. Or you can look in the description for the timestamp. But yeah, you started 2 email conversations with me for some reason. And in those emails, you made it very fucking clear that you were too stupid to actually read these things. Or you're too high on your own supply to listen to someone who's questioning it. Wow, you're not really good at this, are you? 404TV was where I had my YouTube breakthrough. We've gone over this already, and this wasn't entirely aimed at you, by the way. I like how you're very selective in what is kept in this video of yours, and what isn't. There we go again with the weird cropping. Okay. So, the context is all right fucking there. You have the 2 IQ level to go back to my original BurnBotTV to go to the new channel and trying to attack me when you were hidden from and essentially blocked from having your posts or anything put on that channel. You ran over to the channel where you were blocked and attacked me again like a fucking headless chicken. Actually, you know what? Let's analyze some of this stuff. So, the channel was shut down after another weirdo, JG Plagiarisms, false flagged me and other corporations at the time. But we buried the beef, the strike was revoked, restoring the channel and all the videos. There's a hell of a lot, by the way. I've actually started relisting some of them because people want me to bring them back. Also, the topic of you came up in the server's gossip section, which we've called Gossip Girls because, you know, funny. Because someone who was new into the server came in and asked, "Oh yeah, remember that guy?" And they asked me, "How the fuck did you come across such an unhinged, angry lad?" Also, I love how you keep using lefty as some sort of insult when it's a dead phrase and a buzzword thanks to idiots like you. I quit the anti-woke days in like 2022, and yeah, you get the idea. That was like 2 years before I actually started seeing a trans woman. So, again, your argumentation doesn't work here, Peanut. And then he goes, "You immediately came back to my channel, good to know it was on the mind." Actually, also, I just realized, bro fucking liked his own comment! You fucking dweeb! You fucking drill bit! You liked your own fucking comment! That is literally smelling your own farts, my guy! Oh my lord! Oh, you are fucking pathetic. Oh, wow. Actually, the part you haven't been mentioned at all, actually, you hadn't been mentioned at all until the BurnBotTV stuff was talking about debate bro arguments and stuff like that. Also, you do realize you're heading on the BurnBot channel, right? You're literally yelling into the void. I also like the fact he heard the comment where I actually debunked his point, his little argument, like, "Oh, conversation between me, blah, blah, blah." You realize this would have easily been settled if you had an actual honest conversation and asked for permission to use the original recording. Right? Bro's butthurt that I'm calling him Peanut, because that's what you are, Peanut. The dots were connected. As if it wasn't fucking obvious, mate. Come on. What is that fucking music cue? The final boss! An autistic Scottish guy! Oh no! Also, why is bro obsessed with me eating spaghetti? What the fuck is this music, though? Oh no, he's found my Twitter. Trans girlfriend. In fact, can we edit that? Can I have someone Photoshop that to say girlfriend? Because if she was a trans boyfriend, she would have transitioned from female to male. So you're more woke than me in that department, and also, if you're obsessed about that, then that technically makes you gay. So, good job, buddy. Joseph is a transvestite from the UK. Oh wow! It's a Christmas miracle! However, you seem to have the definition of advocate and activist put into a blender. The bit about furry porn, by the way, isn't as extreme as you'd think. One, just to be clear about this, I'm not a zoophile. I'm not turned on by animal genitalia. I just think it looks gross and weird. That's why I go for the more anthropomorphic stuff. I don't jerk off to ponies. Most of the time when I was younger and going through the hormonal phase, I was very much into, like, you know, equestria girls. I've grown out of that stuff long ago now, though, so, you know. Ugh. However, the way I see it, fiction is fiction. Reality is reality. To treat fiction as if it was reality is to literally be clinically insane. However, it's not something I really go out of my way to look at either. I just come across this shit because a lot of friends of mine are into this stuff. But thankfully, I've distanced myself from those who consider themselves zoophiles. And you know what? I don't regret it. Also, I love the fact that you're trying so fucking hard to misgender my girlfriend. Yet you're too stupid to figure out what her original name is. It's this, like, ridiculous level of, like, cringe rage baiting that got you into this kerfuffle to begin with. Bro doesn't understand Oni plays lore, and clearly neither does Elon Musk. I love that of all the things you could have picked, you picked a safe-for-work image of a goth version of Isabelle from Animal Crossing that I shared on World Goth Day. Also, it's a safe-for-work... I can't stress this enough. It's a safe-for-work image! Mate, what's the big deal? Wow, you must be one sheltered dork. Again, you must be one sheltered loser to not understand how many people had a crush on Bunny Rabeau. Also, bit of trivia for some people. It actually is Rabeau, not Rabot. The Sat-EM cartoon actually got that wrong. You know, the Sonic Sat-EM, whatever. This picture is also safe for work. What is your point? We have to talk about this one. There's actually context to this. This was posted after someone I used to follow got really butthurt whenever the topic of lolly was even mentioned. So, in an attempt to troll them fairly lightly, I just posted lolly. No context, nothing else. Either the channel hadn't seen it, or the channel was shut down. So, I'm not sure what argument you have to make. Okay, that's... Okay, stop. That is straight up tits right there. Also... It's against terms of service. You do realize Guinevere is an android, right? As in, a humanoid robot? Literally not a furry? But also, seriously, I actually have to censor that. That is actual, like, full-on tits right there. I forgot how awesome that fan art is, though. Holy damn. In fact, here's a higher quality picture. This guy is so fucking sheltered, mate. Okay, so the first half of this, let's tackle the stalking half first. I stand by both of these statements, okay? In fact, for the most part, I don't even need to when it comes to stalking. She is canonically a masochist. There's an episode where she literally creamed herself when she got electrocuted one time. And she got heavily aroused and she was tied up by tentacles in another episode. So when the show's saying it more than me, mate, that's not my fucking fault, okay? That's literally not what my issue was to begin with. Otherwise, you'd have seen the original post context. Also, let's be real, this is a bit of a stretch. So, let's talk John Lennon for a minute. He was known for striking both Cynthia and Yoko, something I do not condone with. However, if someone was to say John Lennon is a rapist because he struck both these women, is that really a valid argument to make? No. No, it is not. You're fucking stupid if you think that. Oh my god. Again with the goofy fucking pictures. Also, it's clear he's seen the other one where Sylvester McCoy's giving me a goofy look. This guy's not very good at this. In fact, good job trying to weaponize a near 2-year-old story, one which has long since been dealt with. In fact, let me just prove it real quick.
Is everything alright?
Yeah,
Is everything alright?
yeah, I just need to ask real quick. Are we trying to kill each other?
No.
Do you hate me?
No.
Do you think I hate you?
No.
There we go. Alright, cool.
Right, I take it somebody's trying to wind you up.
I'm just getting evidence to prove, yeah, no, me and my mum don't have any bad blood.
No, fuck no. No bad blood. We can butt head now and again like every other person does, but we're fucking smart enough to see through it.
Yeah, it's par for the course when two people live around
Aye,
each
well,
other for
that's
the
it.
longest time, so...
But because we're like ships of passing the night now, we're getting on great.
Yeah.
We don't oversee each other.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Alright, that's all I needed to ask.
Aye, so whoever's saying that to tell them it's full of shite, and that's for your mother.
It's fine. By the way, hi Peanut, hope you're seeing this.
Right, see you in a bit, darling. Any problems, just phone me again, right?
Will do.
Right, love you. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Also, again, this font is actually pain to look at, dude. Radical trans-loving left trans-loving for... What? I don't even know what word salad this is. This is the caliber of human telling you to be a better person. If you find yourself on the same side of this thing... Hey, buddy, I heard you were wanting to get into politics. You're not gonna last a fucking day with that kind of attitude, mister. And here's why. Here's why. Trump might be an absolutely creepy weirdo, but at least he is a sweet talker and knows how to make people he sees as allies feel better about themselves. Imagine being so fucking self-absorbed you thank yourself twice. Right. I'd have to ask you all to go back to the start of this video, count how many times Peanut and his dickriders attacked and harassed me and others, and see how many times myself and others harassed and attacked him. Like, Peanut, let's talk. No, really, let's talk for a sec. Mate, I'm saying this genuinely here. You need help. Like, genuinely, you need help. You got so butthurt and bent out of shape for that mirror being held up in your face that you lost all sense of logic and reasoning. Throughout this entire debacle, you and your mates were the ones who escalated this. Not me, you. 'Cause you couldn't help smelling your own fucking farts. Now, with that being said, I think I'm done with this. That being said, if you go over there, don't be a fucking idiot. Don't be a moron. We don't condone any kind of shit that goes on either side, but we also don't support transphobes. We don't support bigotry of any kind, of racism, or anything like that. But at least I have my fucking principles, Peanut. I'm not scared to talk to people like you. You, however, are fucking terrified of me, aren't you? You're scared of someone who differs with your opinion. I'll see you around, Peanut. Nice talking to you.